Hello, everybody. Oh, man, is this going to sting. It is December the 15th, 2019. Again, if you're hearing me for the second time, again. And this is the post-tender loving care tables, ladders, and chairs pay-per-view. The last one of the year, of the decade, of the WWE. And for many of us right now, after watching it, we are all saying, thank God. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com, the host of Wrestleview Weekly, and the co-host of this show right now, because I am always co-hosted by the word that we prefer using is the effervescent Mike Tedesco. Michael Tedesco, how are you?
I'm doing well, Douglas. I just got through what was basically a 3 hour and 15-minute pay-per-view. I was praying for this thing to end, and it did. It mercifully did. What a show! What a show!
I'll tell you what. For everyone's benefit, and I think for also your and my own, could you tell everyone what your work week was with Wrestleview, starting on Monday?
Oh my God! Well, I mean, it's a typical workload, I suppose. Really, I recap Raw, do my post Raw show. Then I recap NXT on Wednesday. I almost recapped SmackDown on Friday, and then I just said, you know what?
Yeah,
it's just not worth it because I had to recap TLC on Sunday. I have watched a lot of wrestling. I have Raw tomorrow, and my last post Raw of the year because I'm taking 2 weeks off.
Yay!
Christmas break. So just a little programming note. Tomorrow is the last post Raw of the year. We'll return in January. And then I have NXT on Wednesday, and hopefully that's the last of the recaps I'll be doing for the rest of the year too. Oh my God, it's too much wrestling, Doug. I haven't even recovered from Survivor Series weekend, and
yeah.
It's relentless. It's never ending.
Yeah, the show I think that I did a couple of weeks ago where I talked about how it is overwhelming being a casual professional wrestling fan. Imagine if you're actually covering it. And you have to watch everything, okay? It is hell. It is hell.
You know what? Like, I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and complain about it, but like someone's watching this and is like, well, he gets paid for it. But you know what? It's still painful.
It is painful, guys, okay?
I don't know if there's a number that would make this okay. I do know that there's a number that would make this okay, but I'm not getting that, so.
No. Let me do the usual thing that I do in my show so that we acknowledge all of the other people. I got to bring myself back on here.
Yes.
If you're in the chat room now, say wee. If you're not in the chat room, there is not a damn thing that I can do about that. There was a lot of wees going on in the show today, especially, well, I think in the main event, it was a lot of women going, oh. Everyone go wee. Daniel says it. I see CJ. I see Mickey. I saw, who else is in there? Don't be a jerk, you say it. I see Hayden. I see Xantrix. Who else do I see? Oh, come on, you guys, don't be a jerk. I see Billy. I see Nafis. I see, okay, Daniel, yeah, the social, okay, so everyone's there. I'm giving you 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's enough of that. Mike, so we're done with that. I did my thing. Mike, go ahead and do your thing and tell us what the hell happened on the Tender Loving Care pay-per-view.
I would certainly love to do that, Douglas, but first I have to just acknowledge, because it's been a long time coming, and it's been a thing for a while. Daniel Schell, you finally got Wrestleview Live number 69. Post-Raw 69 is coming up very soon as well. So there you go. It's finally happened. It's finally, you know what, like, I kind of wish that we did Crimbus a week ago, because Crimbus honestly deserves to be 69.
Crimbus deserves to be 69. Okay, absolutely. More info on that later on after the show, guys.
We'll talk about that at the end of the show, so stick around and sit through the pain with us of recapping this event. Okay, so our kickoff show saw Andrade defeat Humberto Carrillo. Is it Humberto or Umberto?
I'd say Umberto.
Oh, I like that one better. Umberto Carrillo. Okay, I like that. The New Day defeated The Revival in a ladder match to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Aleister Black defeated Buddy Murphy in a bloody match. Aleister Black's nose also lost the match.
Yes.
The Viking Raiders versus the OC went to a double countout in a Raw Tag Team Championship match. The OC responded to the open challenge, and the Viking Raiders powerbombed Carl Anderson through a KFC table. More on that later. What the fuck? Although I gotta say, after that match, I am definitely craving a mashed potato bowl from KFC. I just gotta say. King Corbin defeated Roman Reigns in a TLC match, and I'll talk about that later. Yeah. Bray Wyatt and just Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend. Bray Wyatt, dressed as Mr. Rogers, smiling and laughing and saying hello to everybody, defeated The Miz in a non-title match. Daniel Bryan, a almost clean shaven, but shaved, definitely a short-haired Daniel Bryan, made his comeback and attacked Wyatt after the match. Bobby Lashley defeated Rusev in a tables match. So I guess the divorce is official. And finally, the Kabuki Warriors in the main event of the show, the second pay-per-view in a row with a quiet main event. And I'm not going to say it's because of women. I'm certainly not going to say that, but it's just weird that they put the women in the main event twice, and it's been a dead silent show. Defeated Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, and it really was truly an awful TLC match.
It was one for the ages.
It was fucking, awful. Actually, you know what, Doug? That would be a disservice to every awful match that's ever been. This was in rarefied air. This is rarefied air.
Yes.
In a TLC match. Oh boy, where do we begin?
Well, first I'd like to begin by. So hey, Doug, how did your predictions go? Let's not speak of the predictions. Actually, I will go ahead and speak of them. Good news! We hit 100 wins for the pay-per-views. We got 100 record. We are
awesome.
A 140-something record. Not bad.
That's too many pay-per-view matches.
The bad news, we went 3-4 on the pay-per-view. Ooh. All 4 locks lost. So, the milestone has been hit, but oh my God, we're taking a beating because of it. Oh boy, this is going to sting.
Holy really shit.
Bad. No, actually, no, I take that back. No, I went 3-4. 3 locks went down. I'm sorry, 3 locks went down because I locked Asuka Insane, so that went good.
Are you still doing the Luna Azul?
Yes, the Luna Azul Blanco Tequila.
Oh, you're gonna be Blanco'd on that show, bro.
Yes, I am. Believe me, I'm not touching this for the Crimbus special. I got special stuff for the Crimbus special. So, no, 3 shots were taken. We unfortunately locked The Miz winning because thought it was going to be a DQ finish of some kind. We locked the Viking Raiders winning, but that went to a double countout, which means no one won. And
fire.
Yeah. And we also locked Roman Reigns winning. So, 3 shots of tequila on the next show, kids. Tune in. It's going to be a doozy because I'm going to be reliving 10 years of wrestling, telling you what was really bad in all aspects because it's the Dougies. The Dougies are making their return.
Oh, boy.
A decade's worth of shit. Get ready.
I was wondering, like, for professional wrestling as we know it, is this one of, like, the poorest decades of professional wrestling? I don't know. Like, somebody asked me that, and it's like a really, like, I think this would be like a great Crimbus topic.
Is this one of the worst decades?
I don't think it's one of the worst decades by far. I mean, you know, I'm sure there have been worse. But in terms of like picking off older fans and just like people going away, like people that were like hardcore diehards that I grew up with, or
yeah.
You know, like even like a guy like Hunter Golden and stuff like that, who's like he was into all the Japanese stuff, and he's just completely stepped away from wrestling in general. He hasn't. Yeah. I know he hasn't watched anything. Trey Dog, like guys that were like lifers and like ran wild on like, you know, wrestling radio. Like, are we crazy for still watching this? Like after this decade?
I don't. Well, again, it's just age works. You know. It doesn't skip, so we get old at the same time, I guess is the best way to put it. If there was a way that we could all get old in a worser decade, like 10 or 20 years from now, and we dip from wrestling? Sure, we could. But no, we have no power over time. For me, myself, I will first try to be devil's advocate here. Before anyone starts bitching about how this was the worst decade of professional wrestling, bear in mind a brand new organization sprouted up in this decade to try to be competition with the WWE and is actually being decent. This was also when the WWE Network began. There are many other things. New Japan exploded this decade.
Yes, they did. Although I do have to say, this decade did start with Impact Wrestling moving to Monday nights.
Yes.
And trying to compete.
Yeah, and trying. Well, yeah, those are good things too. Those are good things. There are lots of bad things we could say, but we got to admit a lot of really great things happened. John Cena happened.
He happened starting last decade, though.
Well, yeah, but John Cena in the prime happened.
He carried the decade.
Yeah, he carried the entire decade. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? What made me think about this? I'm sorry to cut you off there.
You're good.
I was sitting in my classroom the other day, and I overheard a conversation with a couple of my students, and they were like, "Oh man, remember like John Cena versus Batista in that I Quit match?" And like that was, they were like, that was like the prime of wrestling, and man, wrestling sucks now. I can't believe we used to watch that shit. And then they go, and I go, well, I'm 32 and I still watch it. And I'm like, don't even look at me that way. It's like, man, like the kids that grew up with John Cena they're teenagers now, and they could give a shit.
Yeah.
About it.
It's great when you hear someone say that was the prime of something, when back in your mind, you're like, no, I know primer.
Right.
That's okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, "Yo, you don't know Prime. You don't know. Get the WWE Network. I'll show you Prime."
Yeah.
But
that's when like, God, man, compact discs, man. Those were such music at its prime, man.
I really felt like the old guy in the balcony on the Muppet Show.
Oh yeah.
Like really? I was like, my God.
This is and this is the one piece of trivia I love when people mention that they're like the Muppets and they're like the old guys in the balcony. Do you know what their names are?
Oh God, I knew it a long time ago.
They have names. They're named after hotels in New York.
Oh, the Ritz and Carlton?
No, Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah,
Waldorf.
Yeah, Waldorf. Statler and Waldorf.
It would have been better if it was.
Okay.
That's a good impression.
All right. You know what? Enough of this. We got to talk about this really horrible show.
Can we find anything that we liked about the show first? I think I can. I think
you can? Well, you go ahead and start it off. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was hoping that you would go first, so I could.
Well, then I'll go first then.
Because
the best part of this show was the ending. No. No. I can't do that. No. Actually, probably one of the best, and I'm really surprised. I can't believe I'm really going to say this. So on my show earlier today, we were talking about what would be the sleeper match. What would be the match of the night? And of course they say, oh, Aleister Black Buddy Murphy, because that's just going to be potatoes thrown at each other. It's going to be a slobber knocker, and I guess it did. My sleeper match was going to be Wyatt and The Miz. Not because of the story, I guess a little bit of the storyline, but the big thing is we're finally seeing Bray Wyatt without The Fiend. Okay. And we were also led to believe throughout the TV shows of the SmackDowns in that The Fiend is nigh invulnerable because he's taught himself not to have emotions, as so the Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt character tells us. But that is not who we're having in this match. In this match, we are not having The Fiend, who is nigh invulnerable. We are having Mr. Rogers Bray Wyatt. So what's the entrance going to be like? What is his demeanor going to be like? What is everything going to be like? And we find out he is the exact opposite when it comes to doing things. He does nothing. But he is everything like The Fiend in that he just gets the crap beat out of him, but still wins. So I say that it was really revelatory in that is what this character is, the kinder, gentler Bray Wyatt, who, by God, his entrance is fantastic. His interactions with the fans, walking around everywhere, I love
that was super fun. I thought when he came out and he was like waving and bowing, and the crowd they just ate it up. They loved everything that he was doing.
Taking selfies with people on the outside,
right. And there was no stupid red lighting. It was just like like he was carrying the gimmick in a different way.
Right.
He didn't need all the extras. Because I think like they throw the red lights on and all that stuff because it's like, oh well, he's wearing a mask, he can't show emotion, so we have to like do smoke and mirrors. But like there was no need for that tonight. I thought it was one of the weirdest matches. I mean, and I'm talking like this is a guy who recapped Hell in a Cell 2 months ago. This was definitely still one of the stranger matches of 2019 because he didn't do anything in the match. He's got crap kicked out of him, and then Sister Abigail, and that's it. But it was fascinating because like he would go from smiling, he'd be like, break my arm, oh it's great, it's all funny, pops his arm back in, it looks like psychotic. And then and then like the face changes, and then it's like, oh shit is on. It was, I don't know, it was really fascinating. I thought it was just super fascinating.
And seeing that in a man bun is fantastic too.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, let's face facts here. There are only so many people that could pull off the man bun. It should never be pulled off in the first place. But if it's ever allowed, it's in professional wrestling, and Mr. Wyatt is the only one who's allowed to have this. So, put it that way. But there are plenty of bad things we can say about the match, but we will save that until after we talk about the good things of the entire show.
Yes.
Is there one good thing from you?
I'll give it to the I'll give it to the opening match, the SmackDown tag title match, just because they really. You know what? It's like I was really between like Reigns and Corbin and that ladder match, but that match really was like, like they worked really hard. I mean, there was some definite like convoluted spots. Like there was there was a spot where Big E was just walking around setting ladders up and all this crap.
Yeah.
And someone in the crowd just goes, just grab the titles, they're all down. And I was like, you know what, I fucking agree with that. Like, Jesus Christ, like, and the spot itself wasn't even worth it. It wasn't even worth it at the end of the day. So like that was weird, but like they worked hard. I enjoyed the match. There was a couple really innovative spots, and Kofi Kingston worked his ass off.
Well, this was the Kofi Kingston show. It was.
And you know what, like, I don't like the way they've handled him after the WWE title loss. He's just been a guy, but this went a long way to kind of getting back some of that steam that he was missing for a while.
I guess what's weird about this match, I'm going to go ahead and admit it, I fell asleep for 5 minutes. And it was oddly enough during the furniture moving. That was when I fell asleep. Because we are trying to set up so much crap here when and I'm not saying, get in the ring, the titles are right there. I'm saying, oh, come on, you guys can think of spots quicker to put together. Or maybe just beat each other up while someone else is moving stuff or, something, okay? There were way too many showcases of Kofi, I guess the best way to put it. I understand this is the Kofi show. This was the match to showcase Kofi and throw him a bone, from kind of, I don't know, the hand that he's been dealt after winning the title at WrestleMania and all. But there are so many bones that I would give him, okay? Leaping over a ladder into the ring, that's one thing, but you don't need to do it twice,
I'll give you that.
And I guess the other thing, too, is, we said this was the Kofi show, not much from Big E, but Big E hardly did anything.
I thought Big E was a lot of fun in this. I that spear off the apron was fucking crazy. Again. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he did a couple things where he got slammed on the ladder. And he wasn't doing much. He was the one taking most of the punishment.
Yeah. Though doing a little big ending from the top of the ladder is neat.
I have to say, that was great. The Revival's cutoff spots, a couple of their cutoff spots were great. Like when they initially went to go launch Kofi, and he runs in the ring and he goes to do a baseball slide, and they lift up the ladder and slam it on his back. That was pretty tight.
Yeah.
That looked really good.
Revival has always been very good with their cutoff spots, and the one the one things about the Revival that is just fantastic about them is that they are the winners when it comes to breaking up the 3 counts.
Yes.
But not in this match. I know it's a ladder match and everything, but when they are breaking up anything, they're fantastic at it.
There was a big ref botch, or not really a ref botch, on a 3 count breakup that went way wrong tonight on this show. That was like there's a couple things that went wrong on this show.
There were a few things that went wrong on this show.
Oof.
A lot of them. A lot of things went wrong on this show. Where do we begin?
I think we just got to begin.
Let's go to the elephant in the room. Let's go to the one that everyone has got a bad taste in their mouth of.
And it's not Green Mist.
No, it is not. It has nothing to do with the Green Mist.
This match, this TLC match with the women, was so bad. So hard to watch at times because I like all the women in that ring. I thought that Kairi Sane and Asuka were like really, really finding their stride. I thought Kairi Sane had a little bit of a rough call up, coming up to she was never on the live NXT, so she really just did like maybe a couple live shows on takeovers and that was it. But moving over to live TV every week, I thought that her transition was really, really tough, especially when she moved to Raw. And she looked lost at times, but she started catching a little bit of a stride. They put her in the main event, and it all fell to pieces in a big way. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't. It's not. I wouldn't say it's the Kabuki Warriors' fault. Everybody was bad here.
Yes,
everyone
was bad.
Like Becky Lynch was horrible in this. Horrible. She was trying to take control. Like I could appreciate that. She was trying to be like the leader and calling out spots, but like, damn, that crowd was quiet. And when you're shouting out spots and this and that, like, it was bad. Charlotte Flair had a couple of real big miscues. The power, I don't know if Kairi Sane was sandbagging her, or if she just couldn't get a grip, or like what. But like there was like some horrible powerbomb spot at ringside that just took forever. And oh God, like everything, the rope, like, this was just a fucking mess. I cannot believe that. I honestly figured, because when they put Reigns and Corbin in the middle of the show, I was like, okay, well, I guess they didn't want Reigns to lose in the main event.
Yeah.
And I guess they'll give us something happy to go into a 2020 with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair winning. But if you were just going to have the Kabuki Warriors win anyway, then just fucking put Reigns and Corbin in the main event. Like, don't put them in the main event just because, well, they're women and it's like, we're forward thinking. Put the match there that had the best build and the most heat. And that would be Reigns and Corbin. I'm not going to say I love the dog mascot thing, but the dog food angle, pouring the dog food over his head, like they had some really hot angles. I don't know why that wasn't closing off the show.
Well, they wanted to have a big old schmoz ending the show, and they wanted to have Baron Corbin getting speared off of a very large platform.
You could still do that.
Onto a bed of 20 to 25 people.
They could have easily done that still. I think they could have thought of a way to get that schmoz finish in there at the end.
It could have been off of a different match, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Maybe.
I agree.
My feelings for this match began when we were doing the ring introductions, and I'm showing Asuka and Sane reacting to their names being called. Only because they couldn't even get their posing and timing down for their introductions done correctly. This was going to be bad from the get-go.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, you called it then. Wow.
This is going to be bad from the get-go.
He's got the eye.
Not just, okay, yes, Kairi Sane powerbomb spot was good, but little would I ever think that Charlotte Flair was trying to spear the brick wall that is Kairi Sane. Holy crap.
That was so
spear
weak.
Spot. Oh my God.
It just killed, it really killed, like, and they went from that spear spot to like taking 10,000 years to setting up a ladder.
Yeah.
And then they came back and made the save, and they hit them with the weakest looking chair shots of all time.
Charlotte and Becky doing the same thing. Charlotte and Becky getting their second or third win, grabbing chairs and slugging them like they had bags of potatoes. I mean, these women were gassed after 10 minutes.
Oh,
They
so
were
bad.
gassed. They were purely gassed.
Well, it's almost like there's like some edict, like, oh, you throw a chair, and if you hit the person wrong and bust them open, like you get fined or something. Like, I don't know, like there was something, like it was almost like it was beyond gas. It was like they were just being too careful. It was just so weird. It just looked so, and the crowd turned on it. Like,
absolutely
happening.
turned on it.
It turned on two of their biggest female superstars. I was like, oh, this just everything about this is fucking bad. You look at where Becky Lynch was a year ago at this very show to where to like her heat now, it's night and day. That's a year through the WWE machine of storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And I don't.
It says a lot.
It says a whole lot. But is it necessarily? Is it what Becky has to work with in the show that she was put on, or is it more on her? For one thing, every woman that was in this match is the Raw roster. This is the Raw women's roster right here, because they have not been showing anyone else.
No.
This is all they've been doing on Monday Night Raw. A 3-hour show. This is what they show for the women on Monday Night Raw, where SmackDown, they're showing way more women and having way more time with them on a 2-hour show.
Yes.
So what are we to think with this? Is this more because the resources that we have are not good, or is it because the people that we have a lot of these resources to don't know how to use them?
I think it's a mix of the two. I really do. It's I mean, like, you have to try to take like crap like Natalia and try to make them interesting like that. Good luck. They've been trying that for the last 12 years. Even gave her own reality show. Nothing about this woman is interesting. She is not a good professional wrestler. I don't care what anybody says. She's good at doing moves and putting together a match with moves in it. But to be a professional wrestler, you have to have some kind of personality. You have to have some kind of connection with the crowd. And I don't even know if she has a connection with the human spirit in general. This woman can't even smile correctly, and you're supposed to take this and try to do something on meaningful on a 3-hour show. It's like, good luck.
How is it that we trash Natalia even though she's not even on our show? How do we do that?
I'm just saying this is what they have to work with.
Well,
that's why. Like, this is why it is. And I couldn't even begin to tell you who else is on the roster. I honestly couldn't.
I'll try to. Sarah Logan is on it.
Right, yeah, and that was like just show up at Survivor Series. She might make the Epico thing next year. Survivor Series might be her last appearance.
Darn near close to it. Okay, Liv Morgan is on the Raw roster, and she is apparently having a makeover.
Yes, she will be a focused piece of the roster. I just hope that I hope in the interim that she's been off since July, the last time we saw her, that she worked on her skill set, because it was lacking last time.
Tamina is on the Raw roster, and she was last seen chasing after the 24/7 title in July.
That right there is a net loss. It's like Tamina's another one. You're like, Natalia's wooden, like. Tamina is a fucking piece of slab of concrete.
Yeah, there are two, though, that are injured that are due back anytime now here around Royal Rumble times, and that is Nia Jax.
Was she assigned?
Yeah, she was Raw.
She was assigned to Raw.
Yeah,
okay,
she is on Raw. Yeah,
because there was a few people that weren't assigned that I thought they were like kind of like waiting to see like what they want to do with them when they come back.
The SmackDown women's roster is set. There's a set. Yeah, Nia Jax and also Wooby Wyatt. Wyatt is coming back from bilateral surgery on both shoulders.
None of that feels like needle moving stuff.
Nia Jax is the only one to me. Only because her return and just going after Becky Lynch is all I'm focusing on.
That could be your WrestleMania match.
That can be one. But you think they'd really have Charlotte Flair not in the ring with Becky Lynch with what they're doing right now? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they could parlay that into a Royal Rumble appearance. I see Nia Jax winning the women's Royal Rumble. Yes. I would like to.
Yes.
Like, I think the face breaker thing, that's got to be like that. That's like that would be a hot angle. That would be
a very hot angle, very very hot one.
Hey,
But this
turn to
is
the WrestleMania whiteboard here.
well, yeah. This is again the Raw women's roster, and the Raw women's roster, the entire can't believe I'm doing Raw women's roster sucked today. All the women of the Raw sucked today.
Collective suck.
Collective suck. Other than here's Asuka doing a German. Who the fuck cares what Asuka did to Charlotte? I don't care.
I mean, in a match like this, you're just trying to get to Christmas and just get this show over with. You're taking a German suplex on the floor, a legitimately dangerous move. Like Charlotte, look, as bad as this match was, Charlotte herself took some really big risks. I don't think anybody else took as big a risks as Charlotte Flair did. She got power bombed off the top rope through a table at ringside. She took some pretty gnarly bumps. And it's like, God, like you got to, I respect that, but like halfway through this match and you see how it's going, like I don't know. I feel like she has enough clout where she could just be like, you know what, let's 86 that move and just powerbomb me off the apron through the table or something like that.
We don't need that. You don't need that. No.
It's just not worth it.
Okay. So we got
everything just felt not worth it. Just
no, this whole match was not worth it. This whole match was not worth it. Okay. Please, okay, got to get out of this. I'm getting depressed.
We're in an infinite loop here.
Yeah, we are.
It was bad. Just trust us. It was bad. If you missed it, don't watch it.
Yeah. Just keep it that way. Just do yourself a favor.
But believe me, I know it's annoying when like you stop a show and it's just sitting there and you never finish it and it's just sitting there in your continue watching queue forever. But once you get to the main event, just leave this in the continue watching forever. Never finish this.
Yeah. Let's talk about Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, let's
talk about this one because everyone again and their dog, their mailman, their any other random person that they would know was saying that this was going to be the match to steal the show. Everyone was looking forward to this because they pick a fight with each other. The whole match revolved around how these two were, quote, evenly matched. And I guess that's true, except that I don't know. What is the story that we are telling with this? Is it that Buddy Murphy just wants to fight Aleister Black, or Aleister Black wants to fight Buddy Murphy, or they just don't like each other because the other one actually accepted each other's challenge? I mean, why? What's going on?
I don't know. The Aleister Black knock on my door, somebody fight me thing seems like it's like one of those ideas that sounds great in theory, and in execution, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
This is the best they have for him, I guess. Aleister Black is I think he's got a unique look and a great. I think he has some of the best worked strikes of anybody in wrestling all over. Don't even start throwing stupid names at me. Fight me. I don't care. Jesus Christ. And picking a fight for the last 4 months. Since April.
Since after WrestleMania, this has been his gimmick.
8 months. 8 months. Yeah. You're right. Since he got moved to SmackDown, the Superstar Shake. This is just not. It's not clicking here, and it's been too long of these vignettes and going nowhere. It's like he lost all of his momentum, and now it's like, okay, well, let's put him in there with a guy who can have a good match, but no one really understands Buddy Murphy. Like, yeah, he had some good matches on 205 Live that got people on the internet buzzing, but that internet buzz does not translate into general audience buzz at all. And you could put on a great match, and WWE shows us all the time with the fan base that they have. Like, their match, probably, like, if it was on NXT, if this was on NXT on Wednesday, for example,
sure.
This match would be fucking like mind melting. People's eyes would be falling out of their head. Like, this is the best fucking match.
They're chanting throughout the entire time, even though they aren't watching it. They're just chanting.
Exactly. Yeah, they're getting themselves over. But, on the flip side, the chanting in their case, because it is for the people in the match, at least it kind of makes them seem like they're big deals. So that does, to me, it adds to the match sometimes. As long as they're not like doing like "we are awesome" and shit like that, like I can get behind it. But it just, like, with the fan base they have, it's all character driven, and it's all like who is the big focus, and both these guys aren't, so they could have a killer match and it's not going to mean a lick of shit to the crowd because they are conditioned to just cheer the big names, and matches and moves, cool moves don't really mean anything. It's just, are
Do
you a name?
things. Do
And
things.
are you a name? And both these guys are not names.
No. The last time I can think of to where people were actually looking forward to an Aleister Black match was when Cesaro was the first one to knock on his door in SmackDown.
That was a great Extreme Rules match, yeah.
And that was a great match. But
and then nothing happened.
Nothing happened at all.
They teased I think they teased Aleister Black and Randy Orton for a little bit, and I know that they did it at a few house shows. And I was like, man, like if that's the direction they're going, that could be really, really freaking hot.
That could be really good.
And they never did it. They never pulled the trigger. And we went a couple more months of just knock on my door every other week because they weren't even showing them consistently. And then you get this.
Yeah.
Well, they worked hard. Like whenever somebody busts their fucking nose into oblivion, like I can't criticize it too harshly because you at the end of the day, I got to tip my cap to anybody who puts their body on the line to entertain some schmuck like me who can go on a podcast and play armchair quarterback and stuff like that. But hey, like I respect that. But the match overall was just bleh.
The positives I will take from all of this is Buddy Murphy, and I'm showing it here where he takes a kick takes a 300 to the sternum kick, 300 kick like the Spartans gave. Rebound off the ropes, takes it. This is Sparta! Off the ropes, takes the tiger knee to the face. Buddy Murphy sells like a champ. Okay.
So
Buddy Murphy is fantastic when I like the collapsing body sell. When you get struck in the head by something and you just fall like a heap. Okay.
Me too. I gotta say, real quick, in that vein, Akira Tozawa and Aleister Black from Raw, what a he is insane. And I loved like the juxtaposition of him sitting cross-legged in the ring, totally calm, and the referee is like frantically in the background, frantically trying to wake Akira Tozawa up. That is just great selling.
Yes. It's selling like this that I just absolutely love. Because it makes you pay attention now. You're like, holy crap,
It's also selling like that could get Buddy Murphy into trouble. If he sells too well, they have a job for him.
Oh, yeah. But then we have the nice little kicking and kneeing and stuffs to the face that Buddy Murphy does, the brain buster. Brain buster! A-H, not E-R, brain buster. Now the match was okay. If you're into this sort of thing, the match was fine. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah. I think that's a fair assessment.
Because going into this and trying to predict this match, I led with the question of what is our purpose here? Like, what is our end game with these two guys? What are we doing with Aleister Black here? Are we trying to push him forward and maybe looking into not title matches, but maybe are we looking at bigger names here? And how are we going to do this? Are we going to do this through Buddy Murphy? How good of a match is this going to be? Who's going to have the most offense, the most defense? Who's going to be selling? Are there really going to be comeback spots in this at all? Same also for Buddy Murphy. What's the purpose with him? What are we doing forward with him?
Yeah.
Making him a bigger name? Is he going to have more offense than Black and vice versa? Right.
Yeah.
And in the end,
what do we care about? Why do we care?
Yeah. And in the end, it was just guys matching tit for tat. There were no, ways to really get the crowd on their side except just to react to things. That was it. It wasn't to pull behind someone and root for someone. It was just to root for whatever the hell they just did.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
And that's essentially what most of the cruiserweight matches are. It's like, like we always praise the cruiserweights, whenever they're on, which is very rare, but like,
mhm.
like if they're on like a big show like this and they pull the crowd into it, like they pulled the crowd into it because they basically had to kill themselves to do it. And they were
Right.
only cheering the fact that, oh wow, we saw like a really big dangerous move. Very cool, very cool. Doesn't mean that like they actually are invested in them.
Mhm.
But like yeah, what are they fighting for? What is the point of this? And it's kind of concerning that like this is the Raw storytelling machine when Aleister Black has really nothing going on for him other than essentially an open challenge gimmick. It's like, who's going to challenge me next? And that's exactly what they're doing with the Viking Raiders. So now they're here as two directionless gimmicks that are just here's an open challenge. Okay, we don't have anything for you, so you're just going to issue open challenges every night. And just go out and have a great match. People love a great match. And it's like, well, obviously they don't give a fuck about a great match. They care about stories and characters and getting invested. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's what they got.
I would like to show this picture. I have the picture showing right now of the replay of Buddy Murphy taking the black mask to the face. And if you can just look at his face and how his body posture is and everything, that is exactly how we feel right now after watching this entire pay-per-view. Okay?
It was Black Mass.
Yeah, this encapsulates everything.
It was one collective black mass to the jaws of every wrestling fan.
Yes, it was. Oh
Wow.
God.
It wasn't that bad. Hell in a Cell still existed this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hell in the Shell. Hell in the Shell. Hell in the Cell was. Yes. Can
Okay.
we talk about the table of Kentucky Fried Chicken outside of the ring for the Viking Raiders having an open challenge and Orange County answering to them?
Yeah.
Um.
This was the match was fucking horrible. Luke Gallows was 10,000 years late trying to break up a pin or something like that,
Yeah.
and the referee had to stop. The match was terrible, a shit finish, boring match. But somebody's like I initially said I think in my tweet, and I'm not gonna look at it right now because I kind of remember how I feel about it. I was just like boring match, shit finish, and that's pretty much all I got. And then somebody goes, yeah, well, it was an effective advertisement for KFC. And initially, I just wanted to write like my initial thought was just to tweet them back and just go, fuck you, you're killing wrestling. And then I was like, you know what? I really do want a mashed potato bowl right now after watching. So, God damn it, yeah, it was effective. It was effective for KFC.
For me, it was not. It was just more to show the table of KFC. And here are some WWE fans that are getting to sit at ringside. And I'm going to now. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phone. Look at these people at this table.
Yeah, they were
Are you effectively telling me that these people who are mildly sexually attractive are not only eating Kentucky Fried Chicken but watching professional wrestling as well? Come on. Go fuck that on a weekend. Come on.
I know.
On.
It's like, have you ever been to a wrestling show ever? Like, no, that is not how they look. If
I look at these people and like their skin is clean. There's no way in hell they eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and watch professional wrestling.
They had all their teeth and didn't talk with a lisp. It's like, my God.
Their teeth were perfectly white and straight. No way in hell. Get off of this. No, go fuck it on a weekend. No, I don't care if you're about your mashed potatoes and gravy. People who look like this don't eat mashed potatoes and gravy. Stop it.
No.
No. And they're white, too. I just want to throw that out there because I'm a horrible person. No, I'm kidding.
I will say, CJ just said, I've seen some attractive women at wrestling shows. Yeah, but so have I. I have brought my wife, who I find attractive, to the show, and most of the people there that are mildly attractive are there because they have a boyfriend that is like really into wrestling and they're trying to be supportive. It's like it's never the other way around, hardly ever. I mean, I have seen some pretty good looking girls that are into wrestling, but they are like that is like a diamond in the rough, like a real needle in the haystack.
They do not exist.
No, not really.
I'm sorry. Yeah, CJ, I understand. You might have seen some, but just as oases are, they're a figment of your imagination. They're just a mirage. They don't exist. Yeah. Okay? Maybe they're just in the wrong place. Or maybe you're in the wrong place. Who knows? Okay? They do not exist. They don't. Okay? You may think they look physically attractive, but then once you get them outside of the wrestling show, oh boy.
Right.
Oh,
It's
boy.
like, oh my God, it's like every single show I ever played. Like I'm at a club and and the band is playing and all these girls are dancing around you and not around me. I don't know if Victoria's watching right now, but like they would be dancing around the singer or something like that, which is actually more realistic because I played keyboard. No one looks at the keyboard player.
Oh, no.
And then at the end of the night, they're still hanging around, and then the bar turns the lights on, and it's like, what the fuck kind of optical, magical, bizarre trick is this? You're not at all what I thought you were. Holy shit.
It's kind of like what I would it's what I usually get when people like I answer the phone or when I used to be in radio in college and stuff, and when people meet you in real life, you're like, oh God, you do not look at all like what you sound like. And I go, ha, fuck you.
You're right. I have a face for television, not for radio.
Yeah, I've got the face. Yeah. Next match. Screw you. Okay, so Viking Raiders, Orange County, they decide to sell more KFC by putting Mr. Anderson through the table of the Kentucky Fried Chicken. They've got a trophy, and you don't.
And they got a bag full of mashed potatoes. Good stuff.
Hey, I hate to break it to you there, Carl, but you're going to, hey, if you told me, you know what, you're going through a table. Man, but I don't want to go through a table. But there's going to be mashed potatoes and gravy on it. Oh, when are we doing this? Am I third or fourth on? What are we doing here? This sounds great. Okay, next match. Karen Corbin, the King Karen Corbin, versus Burden Roman Reigns.
A lot of highlights, a lot of things I liked about this match.
A lot of things I want to talk about as, for example, this is the third week in a row that, well, no, not third week. It's the second week that we have kept dog food underneath the ring.
I like that spot. I like that they did a callback to that spot. Yeah. I was not expecting him to pull that out. I mean, I figured we would see dog food, but I figured he'd be like throwing it at him and then he'd wind up eating it or something like that.
The audience took a lot of dog food, that's for sure, because that can was kicked out of or something out of Corbin's hand and flew away.
Somebody's got a nice can of Alpo to bring home forever.
Oh, yeah. You're sitting there with a Bud Light, and then suddenly you've got a juicy morsel, Alpo going right in there.
I still have the Snickers that Luke Harper gave me at an Access. Because I wasn't even on his line, but I walked by and I go, hey, Harper, it's Sunday. You know what that means? He goes, yeah, time for a Snicker. And he threw me a Snicker. And I was like, oh, fuck, keep keeping that forever.
You sit there like, he's been waiting forever to do that line, and someone finally went into it. I'll bet he's had that in his pocket for a month.
Yeah, I would think so. It was incredible. It was great. Crowning achievement in my wrestling fandom.
Okay, Karen Corbin.
Anyway,
Roman
yes.
Reigns. Okay.
The deep six you're showing right now, that's probably one of my favorite spots in the entire match, and it happened like right at the beginning. That was fucking tight.
Yes. This is I'm a big fan of the deep six spot of Karen Corbin. It's great for any purpose. Like seriously, it's a great cutoff spot. It's just great to build up.
It's a great visual. It's a safe move. It's a move that you can do to really anybody.
It's a safe finisher.
It's great. Everything about it is sharp. It's a great signature.
Are we okay? So we talk a lot about on Monday Night Raw how Kevin Owens is now ultra super duper mega baby face and Seth Rollins is ultra super duper heel. When it comes to SmackDown, it's a completely different beast. Because who is your major heel? Is it Karen Corbin or Bray Wyatt? For your baby face, is it Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns?
Are you asking me that or?
Well, I mean, after watching this match,
I gotta say, Baron Corbin is obviously like I guess like Wyatt and Corbin are both heels.
Yes. But
in terms of like who's best at being a heel, Baron Corbin stays to that character without fail. Like Wyatt goes for the cheer. Like he was going for the cheers tonight. He was trying to be like like his thing is so unique that people almost want to like it.
Yeah.
Whereas Baron Corbin does nothing that is redeeming whatsoever. Everything he does is just to be an asshole. Like he was going around ringside and everybody loves tables and they're chanting, "Well, we want tables," and he grabs a table and then he drops it and he goes, "Bah."
Yeah,
And
I
the
just love
fuck
he lifted up the table, pointed at it, and everyone's going, "Yeah!" Drops it like that.
That's great shit. That's what a heel is supposed to be.
What is and he reminds me. I can't believe I'm actually almost comparing him to Bobby Heenan, in that only because Heenan, the fantastic heel manager, greatest of all time, my favorite performer of all time. All he had to do was turn his head, and people lambasted him. He hardly had to do a thing. You just looked at him, and suddenly people just want to spit at him. It's almost like this right now with Baron Corbin, to where he just, if he looks at him, but he does this gesture, just kind of like, yeah, whatever. He's always done this. He's always done the flick away.
I learned a lot about the guy behind Baron Corbin and his philosophy on wrestling on Backstage this past Tuesday. I thought that he had one of the most fascinating appearances of anybody on that fucking show yet, even CM Punk.
Oh yeah, the Backstage. His interview was great.
Because you know what, I was like, God damn it, I'm not a big fan of his matches and all that stuff, but that's me personally. That's a personal thing. Mm-hmm. But this guy gets it. He gets it. He gets what it means to be a heel, and it's not like that Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, like we're the bad guys, but we're the cool guys. Nudge, nudge. Mm-hmm. He knows his character's a douchebag. He wants to be a douchebag. Yes. And he doesn't want to be a cool douchebag. He wants to be a douchebag that you want to punch him in the fucking face when you see him. It's great. That he gets it.
And that's all you could ever ask for someone like him. And and I can understand how some people be afraid with, he might accidentally break the fourth wall on social media or something like that. Oh no. He ain't breaking no walls on social media. All he does is, if someone says something bad about him on social media, all he does is retweets their profile picture. He is fantastic as a douchebag. I love this guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's not granting Make-A-Wishes and retweeting them and oh great, this is the best part of my job. Like, no, he's not doing any of that shit.
He is not doing any of that crap. He does probably the radio appearances and stuff, but he'll even be a douchebag on that. Like, I'd love to see him show up on pop radio stations trying to promote the shows that he's going to, and he starts talking about, this is the crappiest music you people play. I don't know why I'm here. I'm only here to tell you where I'm going to be. But I don't know why. I don't want you people showing up, because this crap you're listening to, I want none of this.
Right.
Oh,
man. It's good stuff.
This match, though, of Karen Corbin and Roman Reigns was fun. Okay. We got to face facts. It was fun. Okay. And Karen Corbin going over, although Dolph Ziggler and the Revival coming in to help out, which further confirms Roman Reigns has no friends.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that's always the big critique. Every single time there's a match that has an ending like this, it's like, where's Mustafa Ali? Where's Shorty G? These guys that were fucking teaming with Reigns a week ago, they were too busy.
Yeah, where were they? We had an Usos chant.
Right.
We had an Usos
the Street Profits got involved in the brawl backstage with Reigns, and like the Street Profits from Raw care more about Roman Reigns than his friends on SmackDown do. It's like so bizarre.
Yeah. And so this GIF encapsulates everything that right now is going on with Roman Reigns. God, I love this GIF of him eating the steel chair in the corner that is tossed from Dolph Ziggler. It's just a treasure. It's a national treasure. Everyone wishes that this came out 3 years ago. I wish this happened every week.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty brutal actually. It looks worse than it really was, I guess.
It was bad. I mean, it was really bad.
I honestly thought that he was going to pick his head up and his nose was going to be to the side of his face. I really did. When I saw that, I was like, that looked ridiculous. I thought we had another Aleister Black broken nose.
I gotta tell you, there is something about Roman Reigns taking objects to the face, sells them like a champ. He does it with the chairs. He does it with steel steps. He does it with office chairs thrown by Braun Strowman. He is a selling machine when it comes to objects being chucked at his face. Okay?
Not hard, I guess, if you really
look
get
at him. I guess. I mean, look at him. He drops like a fish.
Yeah.
Just great stuff. Okay? But again, it was a fun match. What did we learn? Roman has no friends. Everyone loves Karen Corbin. That's what we learned.
Yeah, it's so weird to like. I really thought Corbin was just tremendous in this.
Oh yeah,
really, really good, and it's probably because I honestly don't watch SmackDown. It's too much wrestling. That's Roy's job. I catch highlights and stuff like that, so I'm not a frequent viewer of Karen Corbin anymore, and. Like absence, I guess, can make the heart grow fonder.
I will be honest, SmackDown has really toned down since its debut on Fox.
Yeah,
it has toned down a lot.
Yeah, I have no appeal. No appeal.
The return of Daniel Bryan. Shaved head. Well, kind of. He looks like American Dragon.
Good.
With 5 o'clock shadow.
I liked it. It was time for a change, and Daniel Bryan is one of those guys, kind of like, in the Undertaker vein, where it's like, okay, well, I want to keep adapting my character to change with the times, and it's like he went as far as he could with the beard thing and that look. He went from being, the Yes Movement guy to the Planet Earth Jesus guy, and now it's
Captain Planet was fantastic. I loved Captain Planet.
That might be better than the Yes Movement, but nah.
No, that lasted for a hot minute. Yeah.
But it's because everything lasts for a hot minute, and then they put it through the machine. But it was time for a change, and he looks good. I think the crowd was a little disappointed when he pulled the hood off because they were like, "Oh my god, he looks so weird! Like, who is this guy?"
It kind of reminds you of the Undertaker when he came back, and he came back with the shaved head. And everyone's like, "Oh, take it off! I want to see it! I want to see what it looks like!" But, oh God, put the hood back on.
Right. Even the Undertaker with the mohawk is pretty cool, but it's distracting because it's like I don't know this look. Is this good? Do I like it? Like you can almost see everybody trying to make a decision about how they feel about this as it's going on. And like at the end of this, I mean, because it was kind of goofy. Of course, you do the magic tricks to get Wyatt out of the ring, and then Daniel Bryan has made his big comeback, and it's quiet. And then he gets on the turnbuckles, and he goes, and they all start cheering. It's so funny.
Yeah!
It's like everybody made their mind up right that second. They're like, you know what? Fuck yeah! I like it.
I'll be honest, though. I was one of those, so here comes Daniel Bryan. He's got the hood on. He does the initial kick, and he frantically tries to keep the hood back on. I'm like, okay, just be clean shaven. Just be purely hairless. I want all the hair gone. Even
no
eyebrows. I want it all gone.
Your hair, get rid of it.
Yeah, I want you looking like a sperm. Okay, just reveal the hood. Show me baby Daniel Bryan. Nah, we get American Dragon with the 5 o'clock shadow. That's okay. I got no problem with the look.
I gotta say, Bray Wyatt's not a bad barber. I'll go to him, especially for a free haircut.
Yeah.
Just get dragged under the ring and you're fucking all set.
I mean, that's the worst of it, right? Is getting dragged down.
It's gotta be and then he cuts your hair. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's great, and he makes it very melodramatic too.
Right.
I wish my girl that would cut my hair would do that. After she cuts it, just kind of pick it up from the floor and go, ah! But nah, they don't do that. There was one match that we have yet to go over. We'll make this short and sweet.
Oh God, yes. I am trying to put it out of my mind. I mean, it was whatever. It was a fucking match, but I looked at this and I was like, please, God, ever loving God, just let this be the blow off.
Yeah, let this be the end. There's this.
It wasn't. they put so much production effort into that video package, trying to make it look like a TMZ spin-off thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's zero chance this is the end of this. They are having, like, the production is having too much fun with this. Doesn't matter if people like it, and I get it, gets a lot of views, so that means it's good, right? Not really.
Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily, no. Some people like to look at the train, at a car crash. I know me. If I go by a car crash on the Garden State Parkway, guess who's driving a little slower to see if I can see, somebody's arm sticking out a window or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's morbid, but that's what the fuck we do. And if you're gonna judge me, fuck you. I don't care. But I don't even know where I was going with this, but it's like everybody wants to watch the car crash that is Rusev and Lashley and Lana. So like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I got it. But I don't know if I can. I don't know. Royal Rumble's not until January 26th, Doug. Not until January 26th. That's a month and a day after Christmas, which is still 10 days away.
Oh crap!
I don't know if I can.
We're looking at a 6-week build.
Yes.
Whoa, 6-week build going into Royal Rumble.
It's always had that, but because the Christmas week and the New Year's week are kind of a wash, so really it has 4 weeks.
Well, no, you're right. It's more like 3 weeks because we're gonna have pre-tapes.
You're right.
Here.
You're right.
Yeah, we've got pre-tapes going on. We actually aren't going to have an effective build for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you're right.
Until those breaks, so it's going to be more of a 3-week build.
Yes. But I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can survive another month and a half of this shit.
But first off, has this been resolved? Has this been resolved? No. It's still going to go.
Rusev's got to,
Are we going to get a Christmas-themed match with these people?
Oh, that'd be great, because I'm not recapping that.
Can we get a Christmas-themed match with them, and then that be the resolution? Moreover, to the point, what is going to be the Christmas-themed match this year? Because let's be honest. Because let's be honest here, the Christmas-themed match every year on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown is incredibly fun.
It is.
It is fun. It's stupid. Makes no sense whatsoever. So I really look forward to this. I really hope it's not Rusev and Lashley or Bob. I guess we're calling him Bob.
I do like the Bob thing. That's about it.
I like calling him Bob.
Nafis Sadat in the chat room goes, there's so much more cuckolding left. And I don't know if I'm reading that with like a longing voice, or if he's like, oh god, there's so much more cuckolding left. I don't know what the inflection is, but it's almost sounds.
Is it supposed to be ASML? Am I thinking that right? Is it supposed to be that?
Yeah, it may be, but it almost sounds like there was like a glint in his eye when he typed that. I don't know.
There's so much more cuckolding left.
Oh, weird. It's oh god, it's wow.
Oh god. I need to go onto the Twitters and looking up things. While I go to that, here's some interesting fun facts for you when it comes to the match times for this show. Can we blame our disdain of this pay-per-view on how long the matches lasted? Possibly. The Kairi Sane Asuka tag team matches of the things lasted 26 minutes. Ooh.
That's about 24 minutes too long.
Ooh, yeah, 24 minutes, way too long. Let me see. I am bringing up our poll is what I am doing.
Wow. We put this match together and they thought, wow.
Yeah.
And at the end, she just climbs the ladder and grabs the titles.
Yeah. That's all you had to do.
No drama.
No. That's
26 fucking minutes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 26 minutes. King Corbin with Roman Reigns took 22 minutes and 20 seconds. And these times are bell to bell. They are not including the entrances. They are bell to bell.
Yeah, and
Bob and Rusev lasted 13 minutes and a half. Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy went 13 3/4.
That's too long.
That's too long. I thought the New Day versus the Revival felt like a half hour to me, but it was actually only 19 minutes. It felt like forever.
Yeah, and about 9 of those minutes was him were them just setting things up.
Yeah. 8.5 minutes for the Viking Raiders versus Orange County, and 6 minutes and 40 seconds for Bray versus El Miz. Yes, that's what we got. Hey, what did you think of this show? You want to know what other people thought of this show?
I do. I'm curious.
Because we hated it.
I can't in good conscience give this a thumbs up and and retain any sense of credibility.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
After a main event like that, and that's closing out the decade.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Closing out the decade?
Doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
Shit.
Doesn't mean anything at all. What did everyone think? Doug, get your shit together. Draw out this thing because we can't see percentages. Yeah, you can see it. 74% gave this a thumbs down.
Boom.
26% thumbs up. Those 26% apparently got their Christmas shopping done. That's what they're so happy about.
I mean, if you stopped watching after Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, I could see giving it.
Yeah, completely understand that. Yeah.
After that, though, it's like, I mean, even you can even probably squeeze in Bray Wyatt and The Miz, but there's not much else on the show that was like really like. I'm glad I watched that.
I see everyone in the chat room giving thumbs down. I do not see anyone. Hayden Barker says it's not even worth his thumb. To be fair, I never expected to like it. Quentin, I died by watching this event. Everyone else, way down. Daniel saying you didn't watch. You're a freaking liar. You're commenting on it. So why are you saying you didn't watch it? Come on.
You know what? Like, there's a real conversation to be had, though.
Yes.
And this is coming from a guy who, full disclosure, bought tickets to go to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Philadelphia in February, which I'm very excited about because that's the only match type in wrestling that I haven't seen yet. I've seen everything else except for an Elimination Chamber, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
But are these gimmick pay-per-views? I mean, they've been down for a while, but are like, especially after this year, are they kind of officially dead?
Well, they've been doing them now for a decade. I think it's safe to say they've been doing them. Well, specific ones, I think they've been doing them now for 8-9 years. It's between 8 years to a decade.
Hell in a Cell was 2009, so you're damn right about that.
Yeah, we're looking at a decade that they've started doing these gimmick pay-per-views of Hell in a Cell, TLC, Extreme Rules. They used to have Fatal 4-Way. Yeah.
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way. Holy shit.
Yeah, that did not last long. That was the first ever pay-per-view I had to cover by myself. That was fun. Yeah. Oh. Wait, and of all places, it was in Nassau. So, yeah.
Remember they tried to make the championship scramble a thing? Remember that? Oh, brutal.
And
like, the Brian Kendrick was WWE champion during the match for like a couple seconds.
Oh, boy.
Or like if the match ended at that second, he would have been the WWE champion, but he was the technical WWE champion for like a hot second.
Yeah. Horrible.
Fucking bad.
Horrible. Okay, so are the gimmick pay-per-views done? No, not necessarily. But they've learned their lessons from gimmick pay-per-views past, to where they aren't having a gimmick match for the sake of having a gimmick match.
I felt like every single one of these was a gimmick match for the sake of a gimmick match tonight.
We did not need a tables match for Rusev and Lashley.
No.
We did not need TLC.
Ladder.
Well, let me see. We didn't need the ladder match for Revival New Day. We didn't need that.
Yeah. We didn't need the women's tag match to be a TLC match.
Could have been just a regular ladder match. But here's the thing. Does it really matter what all of these matches really were? Because they broke out everything anyway. They were just regular no DQ matches.
Yeah, and you know what I was kind of wondering too, like in a ladder match, if you use a table, do you get disqualified? Like why? Like, what is the difference between a TLC match and a ladder match?
And I was wondering, has that ever happened?
No.
I think I want to look back and see. Oh, here we are at a chairs match, but oh shit, someone's used the ladder, so DQ.
You see, like, I thought the TLC gimmick died like when they added in the stairs match a couple years ago, and I was like, you know what, this is officially jumped the fucking gun. It's like it jumped the shark.
It's jumped the shark. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But when I say having gimmick matches for the sake of having gimmick matches, I think the worst. There was Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Can't remember the year, but the match was Randy Orton versus Sheamus in Hell in a Cell. Why it was in Hell in a Cell? It wasn't even for a title. It was a grudge match, and they didn't even use the cell itself. They didn't use anything underneath the ring. Maybe they used a chair, but that was it. They just had it inside a structure, and they hardly used it.
You know what's so weird? You brought that up, and like a week ago, I was just like perusing through, like just scrolling through Facebook, and there was like highlights of that match, and I'm like, was I in a coma for like a couple years? Because I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
I was like, this is terrible. Why was this happening?
Yeah. And don't get us started, Quentin, on the Punjabi prison match.
Oh, I saw that match in person too.
Man, you want to talk about, you had problems with red lighting? How about problems with orange lighting? All the light reflecting off of the bamboo.
So bad.
The entire ring in the area just looked like a great coat of urine.
Well, at least you're able to see that. When the Punjabi prison is up, you can't see anything in the ring. So the only thing that was like you could get out of your seat for was when they were climbing on the wall and Sunil Singh went through the table. That was it.
My thing is, it was a wall climbing contest. That's all it was. It was a wall climbing contest.
But they never made a pay-per-view surrounding it, so that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But gimmick pay-per-views, are they dead? No, not necessarily. They're honestly the pay-per-view you can just throw away. TLC you can easily throw away. Extreme Rules you can throw away. Hell in a Cell, not the Hell in a Cell though, to me has always been, if you want to resolve a program, this is where you resolve it.
But nothing gets resolved there anymore. They just continue on.
So
yeah, like they killed that gimmick is what you're saying. You know, like I think like all the ones that are piled on early in the year, like around WrestleMania season, like TLC, not TLC. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Money in the Bank. Yeah. Money in the Bank is always like, that's just interesting because you want to know who's going to win, because that means that they could be a future world champion or a future women's champion.
You're not even interested in the show itself. You're more interested in the results of it.
Right, and it's fun because like on a show like that you can make predictions and stuff like that. It's like, oh, what if this happens? And you can let yourself kind of go a little bit
and start a tequila because you didn't know shit about what you were talking about.
Right. You can have some fun with it. Extreme Rules, it's like that for whatever reason that's been like the sleeper hit almost every single year. It's always been a good show. They always put something decent out for that. But that's just because it's just hardcore matches. It's not like, oh, well, we're going to put you into this cage just to put you in a cage, or we're going to put you in a TLC match just to put you in a TLC match. It's like, if you're going to ask your talent, and you can go around and look at all the websites. Oh, the morale is so low in WWE, blah 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 blah. But like seriously, if you're going to ask your talent to, especially around Christmas time, 10 days before Christmas, put yourself into a brutal ladder match and then go to fucking Iowa tomorrow and do a double taping of Raw and put yourself through all this hell, and it doesn't even mean anything. Like, why do it at all? Like why risk, there was a couple spots tonight, in these matches where it's like, this person could have been fucked up big time. This person could have been fucked up. Like I saw Big E fall off a ladder and I thought he ripped his knee to shreds. Yeah. And I was like, that's bad. Like, this is, if an injury happens here, and it hasn't happened yet, but it will eventually, somebody's going to miss WrestleMania for a throwaway show. Why? Yeah. Like, why do it at all? Why can't we just have an end of the year, whatever you want to call it, just Armageddon, like they used to do, or just like a regular throwaway pay-per-view, no gimmicks, just try to tell a story to get people interested, and if they're not interested, they don't watch the show. Like, don't kill your talent.
No. I guess what's weird is that, so we sit here and we're worried that the gimmick pay-per-views are dead, but yet next month is the penultimate gimmick pay-per-view. It's the oldest gimmick pay-per-view they have, and that's the Royal Rumble.
But it has some meaning to it, though. Like there's a reason to do it, and it's like, you can. That's another one where you can make predictions, and it's definitely a gimmick pay-per-view. But it's. And
I totally get Elimination Chamber. I've always treated Elimination Chamber, that gimmick pay-per-view, as the ultimate reset button. is what I've looked at. Because Royal Rumble, okay, we're going into WrestleMania times. We got the whiteboard all set. Let's get this guy going. All right, we've got our Royal Rumble winner. We're going here. Wait a minute. Those last 2 episodes of Raw and SmackDown were not very good. Maybe we've made a mistake. Maybe we need to have a new number 1 contender. Maybe we just need a new champion instead. You know, this is about the time where we should have Triple H be the champion so that it's all fine, you know.
Yeah.
That's usually how it ends up.
In recent years, yeah, which they haven't done too much of it, but if they did that like every year, that would just kill the Rumble gimmick. You know, it's like, well what the fuck? It doesn't even mean anything anymore. You know, they have done a good job protecting the Royal Rumble through the years, and that's why it has lasted, and that's why it has staying power. You know, if they did the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia every year, that would do like a big. I think that would do irreparable harm to the Royal Rumble gimmick.
Absolutely.
Luckily, they came to their senses and they're like, you know what? Let's give you a best in the world tournament, and we'll just do that every year. We're gonna have the best tag team in the world. Next year, we'll have the best, the best woman, you know, covered head to toe tournament.
We're gonna have the best arm wrestling match. We're gonna have the best, you know, bamboo. Everyone's gonna get a stick of bamboo. They're gonna have the biggest match of that. You know, we're gonna have the world's largest bamboo stick fight.
We're gonna have the world's largest Punjabi prison. It's gonna peek over the King Saud Stadium roof. It's gonna be amazing. You know, we're
gonna have the world's largest steel chair brawl. Here's our entire roster. Everyone has one chair. Watch them all go nuts. This is what's gonna be happening every single year now with them over in South Dakota. So
right, but that Royal Rumble has been protected. It's like it's not a gimmick for the sake of a gimmick. They have done a great job through the years of establishing like this is a big deal. This is WrestleMania. This is the title match at WrestleMania. Everybody wants to make history. Like that makes sense to me. Like I can live with that. I get it. It's a gimmick, but I can totally live with that.
Random questions coming in from the chat room. Do you see Ronda Rousey returning? They got her in the alumni section.
They have her in the alumni section, but that door is left wide open for her to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, no traction. I haven't seen any traction on that whatsoever. You know, but the fact that she said that they don't need her because they're doing fantastic is you could take that to mean like she's definitely coming back. You know, it's like everybody always says, "Oh, I'm not coming back," and then they come back.
Yeah.
You know. I guess it depends on like if she wants to have a family. I know she wants to have a family, and who knows?
She doesn't want to get hurt. Let's go and put it that way. She wants family times now.
And she made her money. Yeah. She made her money. She had her fun, and you know she did the wrestling thing and had some fun doing that too. And what else is there?
I don't think I've got a feeling she may change her mind when her child learns how to speak. Once the first words come out, then she go, okay, I gotta get out of here. This kid's getting on my flipping nerves. I can't take this anymore. Okay, forever this gif of Roman Reigns getting slugged by the steel chair is going to be on here.
I like that.
I think this is a great way to exit WWE pay-per-views for the
That's
decade.
A good one.
You know, I think it screams so much.
It says so much about what this show is about and how this decade's been.
Yeah, seriously, it has. The whole decade has been just a slug in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just in in wrestling, just in life in general.
Yeah. Oh God, this year, absolutely.
That's called adulting, right there.
Yeah. Here comes the chair of adult, coming right to your face, right there.
Like, hey, I'm still young and viable. Oh, wait,
no, seriously, this exactly happened to me last night when I decided, should I go to my girlfriend's office Christmas party or should I go to the Christmas party that's at my comic book shop? I chose the comic book shop and then woke up the next morning with Deanna embodiment of the chair right to my face. I deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. Okay.
For me, that was Victoria waking me up on President's Day weekend and saying, look at this. And it was a plus sign.
Oh, boy. So whatever you want this chair going to Roman Reigns' face, you take it for what you want. You want it to be a pregnancy test? Do you want it to be an angry girlfriend? That seriously, you can make this GIF whatever you want it to be. Right now, for me, it's the weekend, but here comes Monday. So that's gonna do it.
Good stuff.
For this
hey,
show.
This is not our last Wrestleview Live of the year, though, Doug.
No, it is not. Holy crap, it is not. Okay, so first off, yes. Monday Night Raw recap. You are doing that coming up tomorrow night. Yes. All right. Also later on. No, really important thing. What is the important thing? It's happening Saturday. Yes.
Oh, you want me to say it?
You go ahead and say it.
I'll gladly say it. Yeah.
You go ahead and say it.
What the hell? What the hell is Saturday? It's December 22nd. 22nd.
No,
okay.
21st. 21st. It's the 21st.
Yes, it is the 21st. Okay. So this Saturday, December 21st, I have no idea what the start time is. It's probably like 7 o'clock. But since Adam Martin is running, it could be 7:30.
Well, if he's running it, it won't be till 9. We'll do a start time of 7, but we ain't airing until 9. Okay.
This is the world famous Wrestleview Crimbus Craptacular.
Yes.
I am looking forward to this year. This is gonna be the first year the first year ever that I'm starting off the show with you all. So I'm kind of excited about that. Adam's coming back. Got some big stars coming back. It's exciting.
If you want to call them that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was
the
such
whole crew.
Star.
The band is getting back together. Adam, Hunter, Tom, even Trey Dog, all coming into the Crimbus Craptacular to do really nice things, say really horrible things. Not really talk a whole lot about wrestling is the one thing. We're all really going to talk more about life than anything else. If anything's going to be asked or spoken of wrestling, I believe they'll probably either refer to you or me. And probably. I cannot believe they would actually ask me about professional wrestling. But it might happen. And it'll be followed with, well, first, I've drank a lot of tequila this year, so I really don't know shit about professional wrestling. But I'll try my hardest.
Hey, do you keep stats on how many shots you've taken?
Oh, dear God. I really should.
You should.
I am sure this decade, I'm sure this year, not this decade. This year, I have taken at least 25 to 30 shots of tequila. At least. There have been plenty of shows where I've had to take 2.
Yes, but you had a show for a while where you weren't doing any tequila at all.
Oh, I had a great run going for about 2 months where the locks were clean. I could rely on South Dakota pay-per-views. I could rely on SummerSlam. SummerSlam I went clean on. But as everyone knows, when it's a tequila-free show, that doesn't mean it's a sober show. Because I break out the scotch to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
So
the man.
Oh, and that's what we're breaking out for Crimbus Kids. The sources are great for this year.
They will be flowing.
I've got a single barrel 4 roses that I want to break out for Crimbus. So we're going to be hot and toasty and completely offensive. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, and how do you follow the Crimbus show on Saturday? You got my show on Sunday. Oh, Christ. It's gonna sting, kids. We've got a hangover from the Crimbus show, following it up with 3 shots of tequila.
That's tough.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt a ton. Oh, boy. I hate everyone.
That's so tough.
Quentin, I know you keep saying it here in the chat room, Doug's liver is dead. You guys say every day that my liver is dead. It's died 1,000 deaths, okay?
Not even a cat. It's way more than 9 lives.
Way more. There are cats looking down in heaven going, shit, look at that guy.
Yeah, like I lived a good life just fucking chasing mice, and this motherfucker is getting...
Look at this motherfucker. I get hit by cars. Look at this asshole.
Well, I'll make sure, just so everybody knows, every fucking time I go on YouTube, I get bombarded with, make sure that your videos are all COPA aligned. And I can assure you, this one will be marked off as not for kids. This show will, this Crimbus Spectacular is not for kids.
Oh, no. Crimbus Craptacular is never for children. Never, 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 never. Solely because even if we weren't saying bad words, Tom Van Stone's going to be on the show anyway, so it's immediately already not for kids.
He's a bad dude.
No.
Bad dude. Yet he has the most kids.
That's
ironic.
That's what's even worse.
It's scary.
No, it's
actually scary.
Ugh.
Well, Doug, I guess we should wrap this up, and I will. I'm looking forward to Saturday, man. See you on Saturday.
I am incredibly looking forward to Saturday at getting stupid with everybody. Anybody? Yeah, I get stupid with anybody, but I would get stupid with everyone.
He'll get stupider with us.
Yeah, it's going to get really fucking dumb is what it's going to get. No, but it'd be the first one with Mike. That's what's really going to be fantastic here. This is the first one that Mike is doing.
I popped in the middle of the show last year, and I shit all over Hunter Golden for doing Raw rankings or something like that because he was shitting on my Raw recaps, and that's really all I remember.
I've got everyone in the chat room. Hold on, Quentin's wanting me to do the Udo. Hey, Kayla! Okay, so I got to get that out of the way.
There you go.
All right. I'm getting a new microphone soon, guys, so it's really going to destroy your eardrums if you're wanting me to do that.
You're going to love it.
Everyone in the chat room, thank you so much for showing up. I can't remember all of you. It's getting late.
It's
got to work. Yes.
Got to do things.
Got to do things. Guys, thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone.
Doug.
Yes.
You're the man.
I try hard, and as always, I end it with this. Know when you're being sold to.